Hey, thanks for joining me on the channel today. So glad you have joined us because we are going to be talking about electric bikes. That's right, electric bikes. Now then, I had never considered getting an electric bike. I am a bike enthusiast. In fact, I have an Orbea carbon fiber bike, which is super light, super easy to carry on the back of our leisure travel van, and just a lot of fun on trails and things like that. It is a hardtail, so I mean, I'm getting kind of old for that. I kind of do wish I had a full suspension bike, but I was really elated whenever Magicycle emailed me asking me if I would consider looking at one of their models and reviewing it here on the video. So they did send it for free. I will say that they did give it to me. So this is full disclosure, but I will tell you that I'll be completely candid about this review. And again, this is the first electric bike that I've ever ridden, I've ever, really looked at. So I started doing my research and trying to find out about the different electric bikes and kind of what separates one from another. But we're going to get into all of that here in just a minute. But in the meantime, if this is your first time on the channel, and if you like leisure travel vans, gear, gadgets, RVing, travel, and electric bikes, I guess, well then this is the channel for you. So I want to invite you to subscribe, hit that like button as well, and yeah, thanks for subscribing. Appreciate that. Anyway, let's get into the review right now. Okay, so whenever I got my unit, the box was extremely beat up and the bike was actually damaged once I opened it up. Now they did tell me that this particular bicycle was not brand new, that it was, I don't know whether it was a review unit that somebody else had or whether it was a return, I'm not exactly sure. But there was a little scrape on the actual frame, and then the display was cracked and broken. We could only see the bottom half. I did email them and they immediately sent me a new display. Now I have not put it back, I have not put it on yet because I wanted to film putting that on for a separate video to kind of go over the overall construction of it, how easy it is to replace parts and things like that. So be looking for that video soon. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what that display shows, because right now I can only see the bottom half, kind of like what electric gear you're in and a couple of things like that. And so I'm looking forward to seeing, speedometer, how much charge is left and everything like that. But anyway, so yes, that was the case. So I'm hoping that, your bike, if you order one brand new, I can't imagine that it would be damaged because it was actually packed very well. Just the box had been used several times. And like I said, it looks like somebody probably wrecked this thing at one point because there was a scrape on the frame as well. Okay, so whenever I started looking at different electric bikes, I kind of looked at some of what I had seen on Facebook a lot of RVers use, which is the electric bike, which is a kind of a budget-friendly bike. They are right around $999. They actually fold up, so they're really good for if space is a premium. Then I also looked at Rad electric bikes, and they're on the pricier side, around $2,000, more of a performance side. And so whenever I looked at the Magicycle, it kind of fit right in the middle. So it's about $1,600. And it is a fat tire bicycle that looks like that's all they sell right now. Whereas some electric bikes you can get with more road tires and different things like that. So I do think that the Magicycle is really geared for some trails, not necessarily, all roads. And so it really, and in fact, I took it on some trails and different things, and it really performed well. I was really impressed with the ride, the feel, the comfort of it. And so for that, so I determined it's kind of a mid-tier price in that $1,500–$1,600 price range, as well as really built really well. Okay, so let's look at the styling. And so I really started, like I said, I started really looking at different electric bikes. Like I said, the electric bike, now that is really looks like a portable bike. Folds up, really kind of an odd, doesn't really look like a bicycle. Whereas a Magicycle really looks like a mountain bike. The styling is fantastic. So if you're just looking at it as far as aesthetically, It is a good looking bike and really well made. I do like where they put the battery. The battery seems like it goes there. It's easy to get on and off. On some of the others, like the Rad, the battery is in a separate place. And so, but I really like the styling of the Magicycle. Okay, so let's talk about power. Well, this thing has plenty of it and more. It has a 52-volt motor, and a 52-volt charger, and so it charges fast, it goes fast. Everything about the Magicycle is fast, which when it comes to a term, especially for the charging, that is important. It charges at only like 3 to 4 hours, which some of the others are 5 to 6, 7 to 8 hours, right? And so the faster you can get a charge in, the better. So they really did a good job of making sure they got 52-volt charging, a 52-volt motor, and this thing, like I said, it flies. You really need to be wearing a helmet. In some of the video that you're seeing, I did not wear a helmet, and you really should, because this thing, like I said, will fly. The website says it goes 27 miles per hour. I'm assuming that's correct because it felt like 27 miles per hour. Keep in mind that my speedometer part of the display doesn't work, so I don't know how fast I was going, but it sure felt like 27 miles per hour, even faster. This thing, like I said, really flies. And it's got 7 gears, which is another thing I learned. A lot of the electric bikes only have 6 what they call pedal assist gears. And so you can use your pedals to do this. And it also has a throttle, which I like the kind of throttle it has more of a motorcycle throttle rather than a thumb throttle. I've ridden some things like snowmobiles and things like that have thumb throttles, and your thumb really gets tired. So this is a great feature in the fact that it has a twist throttle, and so you can just keep your feet still and you can power along at whatever speed you want with that throttle. Now then, with pedal assist, like I said, it has 7 pedal assist levels, and I'm telling you, it is fast. You will not be disappointed. Okay, so let's talk about the fun factor. These things are amazingly fun. Again, it's like having a quiet scooter or a quiet motorcycle because, I mean, like I said, you can ride it with the throttle without moving your feet if you want. You can use it with pedal assist. And again, it is fast. Make sure you got a helmet. I'm telling you, these things are fast. If something went wrong, you could really hurt yourself because they are a lot faster than I thought they would be. Like I said, this is my very first interaction with an electric bike. But I will say this, I love it. I absolutely have a blast with it. I can see that this would be a fantastically fun addition to our RV travels. And so will I be putting the Magicycle on with the Orbea? Yeah, I think I will. But that brings me to another point. So let's talk about weight. So weight-wise, it weighs about 76 pounds. The battery's about, I think, 8 pounds or so. So you're in the 60-pound range when it comes to when you take that battery off. And that's a heavy bicycle. And so right now I have a Kuat Sherpa 2.0 for the way we carry the bike around. So I don't think that would be sufficient. I do think you would have to get a 1-up bike rack that is capable of holding that weight. If you're going to carry this on the back of a truck, back of an RV, something like that. Now then, is that a big deal? Not really. I mean, you definitely want to make sure that you're safely going down the road when you are transporting those bikes. So the weight is, can it be an issue? Only if you have the wrong equipment to carry your bike. Also, if with that weight-wise, lifting it up, if you have mobility issues or something, you might have a little bit of trouble with that. But overall, I mean, if you're fine in that department, no big deal at all. Okay, so let's talk about accessories. There is an accessory pack, and they actually sent it to me. It has everything from like a cell phone holder. It has an alarm system, a bike cable lock. They even gave me a hat. So yeah, there's lots of things that you can get with it. Now then, the biggest accessory that you can get, which is pretty expensive, I think it's like $549, and that's an extra battery. So if you think you're going to be using this thing a lot and you need 2 batteries, then you can actually buy a Magicycle with 2 batteries. Or if you decide you need an extra battery later, you can buy those on your own as well. Okay, so let's sum this up. Pros and cons. First of all, looks-wise, it's a good looking bike. Don't think you're going to be disappointed at all. I'm really, really impressed with the styling. The build quality seems to be absolutely fantastic. Now, there is a build quality on something I'll talk about here in a second in the cons, but the overall bicycle part of it, I think, is really, really well built. Don't think you'll have a problem with that. Now then, power, huge pro. I'm telling you, that 52 volt motor is fast. Some of these electric bikes come with 36 or 48 volt motors. So that 52 volt motor is going to, like I say, it's helmet worthy for sure. You should always wear a helmet. I didn't, as you can see in the video. I will probably do so in the future though, because it is powerful. Now then, charging, another huge pro that I think sets this bike apart from some of the others. So it's got 52 volt, 3 amp charging. That means it's going to charge in 3 to 5 hours, when some of the others with the 48 volt, 2 amp charging is going to be more in that 6 to 8 hour range. So to me, that is a massive win. You want your items to charge as fast as possible, right? So that is probably one of the biggest pros to myself. And then price. Now, this could be a pro or it could be a con to you, depending on where you're coming in at. Like I said, you can get electric bikes for the $899, $999 range. And then you can go super expensive if you get into some of the Treks and some of those in the $4,000 and $5,000 range. But the one that I found most comparable was probably Rad, and it was in that $1,999 range. So at $1,599 is, I believe, is what Magicycle has it for on the website. It's really mid-priced, and I believe it's a fair price because it's a really good product, especially since it has that fast charging, that 52 volt motor. I think it's a really, really good value. Now then, a couple of the cons. The only cons that I could really find, I mean, it's a heavy bike. I'm assuming most electric bikes are heavy. I did find this one to be, as I was comparing to some of its competitors, it's a little on the heavy side. Like I said, if you're going to carry this on the back on a bike carrier, definitely you're going to need a heavy duty one that can make sure that it can take that weight. Now then, back to build quality. The only thing I was disappointed in was maybe some of the Shimano products that it was using is obviously on the cheaper side of it. Now, as a mountain biker, as somebody with, somebody who enjoys the high-end mountain bikes, when I'm used to like the top of the line, shifters and things like that. Like I said, this one is the lowest end, something you'd find on probably a Schwinn, if it has a Shimano on it, that you buy at Walmart or something like that. So, but again, you're not necessarily going to be using this as a real bike, so I don't think it's that big of a deal as long as the chain stays on. As long as you can, the shifter actually works and have to be the cleanest and smoothest of shifts, it does work. Just hoping that it holds up. So again, those are the only really 2 cons that I could find. I look forward to getting the speedometer, the display fixed, and so I'll update you about that, as well as update you on as I enjoy this bike. But I do believe you can't go wrong with a Magicycle. So if you want to get one for yourself, I will put a link down below. We'll also have one on the website at pagosaSupply.co. Now then, if you want an electric bike, don't think you can go wrong with a Magicycle. But that's it for this week, and we will see you next week.